my response would be extremely, I would be so happy that someone actually invited me to their house to help them, to be there for them, to support them with what they're going through. So this is exactly what God is waiting for us. When we are going through difficulties, He's simply saying, Kotara, why are you asking me to remove this problem and that problem in your life? I can do that from here. Why don't you ask me to come and be with you, because I want to actually spend time with you. And you will also be happy, just like Emily and Ram, they're happy to spend time together. Similarly, God would love to be sitting right next to you, being your companion as you go through the struggles in your life, and just to make sure that everything is okay. So this is what God would want. But we want, no, don't come here. Wherever you are, stay there and just solve all my problems from a distance. So this is what difficulties in life is meant to be. It is an opportunity for us to call God into our heart space and say, God, please be with me. I'm having some serious struggles right now. I remember when Durga Devi was having struggles, and I kept saying, don't worry, I'll keep praying for you, and you just keep inviting Krishna into your life, and from inside he will come and he will be with you. He will be your companion. He will be there when you're crying, you're alone. You think you're alone, but he's there to lend you a shoulder. And you think no one is hearing you, you think no one cares, but he's actually sitting right next to you and letting you know how much he cares. And you think that, no one understands you, but he is inside of you and outside of you, and he understands everything. And eventually, all of a sudden, everything in your life looks so beautiful, and you think, oh my God, look at what I did. But you didn't even realize that you had invited him to come and be with you, and he had done all those miracles for you. So this is what Kunti Devi is teaching us. So this is what Kunti Devi is teaching us. And she's having so much pain and struggle in her life. And she's saying, please God, give me more, give me more. I don't recommend that process for you, but I recommend that at least when you're having struggles, instead of looking at everyone and everything in the world to blame, we have to look at how beautiful and kind God is to give us this opportunity to invite him into our hearts so that we can go on this journey together. So the fourth section of the fourth chapter of the Gita is from verse 25 to 42. And these verses, they talk about the principle of sacrifice. That if you want transcendental knowledge, you have to sacrifice something. So in the material world, when we want to become a doctor, we sacrifice 30 years of our life to go to school and study, and then eventually we become doctors. You want to become a pilot, you have to give at least 20 plus years, then you can become a pilot. So in life, whatever you want, you have to make a sacrifice. And then through that sacrifice, you'll be able to achieve transcendental knowledge. So why is it so important to sacrifice? Because sacrifice generally means that it helps to build one's character. Material knowledge, when you sacrifice for material pursuits, then it is not building character, but it is building caliber. And when you're looking for transcendental knowledge, then that sacrifice helps you to build character. So material equation or material knowledge equates to caliber. Everybody is looking for the most caliber person. They will calculate your GPA, they will calculate where did you go to school, what is your marks, what is your ranking. All of these material equations are there. So caliber is the metric, is the measurement, whether to hire you or not. Okay? So, for example, you want to play on the Eindhoven soccer team in Netherlands. Then you have to have a certain caliber. We went to the training ground. We saw Ramananda Prabhu took me there. These boys are training, young boys, they're like maybe 5, 6 years old. They're training like crazy. They're there with their parents just so that fully they can be recognized to play for the club. They're training from age 5. No joke. Very serious. For what purpose?
Pour quelle raison?
So that their caliber, their expertise, their qualities, they go up and up and up. So someone will recognize their caliber and then we'll give them a contract to play for our club. But in spiritual transcendental knowledge, they're not looking for caliber. We are looking at an individual's character. And that character has nothing to do with caliber. It has everything to do with your true inner self. So Krishna explains to his friend Arjuna how to achieve this transcendental knowledge. How do I build character? So he gives a very, very, very simple 3-step process. And the words are pranipat, pariprashna, and seva. Those are the 3 words. Pranipatena, pariprashnena, sevaya. That means we must humbly approach. Yeah, when we humbly approach a teacher, what we're doing is we are leaving our ego and our pride outside of the door. To humbly approach means there is no room for pride, there is no room for ego. It's a very important primary qualification to receive transcendental knowledge. And you may realize why it is so important. Because it is only through the emotion of humility can the doors of the heart open to disseminate spiritual knowledge to the students. If you don't have humility, then you will not be able to open the teacher's heart. And when you open the teacher's heart, then he will teach you everything you want to learn. And there's an example of this in the life of Arjuna, who is one of the recipients of the Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield with Krishna right this minute. Arjuna was considered to be the best archer and the best warrior, the best student of his guru Dronacharya. And how did that happen? Dronacharya had his own son. His name was Ashwathama. And when Dronacharya was teaching special lessons, special archery skills to Ashwathama, then Arjuna found out that Ashwathama was learning. So he went and he humbly approached his teacher. And his teacher immediately received him and taught him everything that he was teaching Ashwathama, his own son. So whatever Ashwathama, his own guru's son, knew, he also knew. Whatever Ashwathama knew, he also knew because his guru had received him and taught him all those sacred arts.
Mhm.
And then what else would Arjuna do? Arjuna would stay up till middle of the night practicing archery in the middle of the night, pitch dark, practicing. He would take a bottle, empty glass, empty bottle, and then he would hold a full bottle and he would try to transfer the water from one jug to the other in the dark simply by the power of his sound, his ability to hear the sound. He was able to practice even in darkness. His teacher was so touched by his humility. He taught him so many secrets. So, the reason Arjuna was the best is because whatever lesson he got, he would practice it till he became perfect at it. If it means staying up at night and practicing in the dark, he made that sacrifice. So, what is the lesson here? The lesson is that we, in order to receive transcendental knowledge, We must humbly approach and submit ourselves, minus our pride, to a teacher. And the second point is to submissively inquire. Because submissive inquiry means that you're eager to know the truth so you can apply the truth, not just for the sake of having information. That is the definition of submissive inquiry. I don't know if you remember, I gave this story of a Buddhist monk. Who remembers that story? I gave 4 kinds of pot.
Please,
Durga Devi, do you remember? Please tell me, Durga Devi.
can you unmute?
Yeah, I remember you told about the pots, that he explained that or the pot is upside down, so nothing can enter the pot.
That's the first pot, yes.
The
And
first pot is, yeah, and then the second pot, it is open, but it has holes in it,
Mhm.
so nothing can stay in the pot. And the third one is when the pot is full, or maybe this was the second one, and with the holes, it's the third one. The pot is full, so nothing can enter the pot. And then the last pot he explained, is when the pot is empty. And that's.
Yes, very nice. This empty pot means that the third part is full with what? Preconceived notions, our ego. And the fourth part is what? Is completely empty vessel. That means we have left our identity, our ego outside, and we are simply fully open to receiving knowledge and absorbing that knowledge. So this is what humbly approach and submissively inquire. Humbly approach means the ego is out. Submissively inquire means your ego is out and you're ready to hear and you're ready to execute. And the third principle that we study, that Krishna is teaching to his friend Arjuna, is the principle of service. That you must render service to your spiritual master, to your teacher. So service is an expression of love. It is a practical process by which you can help open someone else's heart. The more we engage in service, the more the heart opens. For example, I dedicated my life to the service of my spiritual master's heart. His mission was Paschatya Desha Dharini. And what that means is that you must take this message of love to the Western world and
Okay.
let them experience what it is, this, this expression of bhakti, this transcendental love. The degree and the sincerity of our attitude and the mood of service we have towards our teachers, to that degree, our actions will have manifesting abilities in the world. It is not rules, it is not regulations. It is truly the deep spiritual vibrations of our teachers that we imprint it into our hearts and make it our life's mission of service. And this is how we receive transcendental knowledge. 3 very simple principles, but yet it is very difficult. And when we practice these 3 steps, then we will be able to build true spiritual character. One great saint, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tamara shakati achi. That means that, my dear teacher, your heart is connected to the divine, and the divine is situated in your heart. He is your property, and you have full access to him. I simply submit my heart to you, devoid of my false ego, and I humbly inquire, submissively inquire, and I'm rendering service to you. Please, please engage me in devotional service. Does that make sense? So this is the sacrifice we have to make if we want transcendental knowledge. It's so important to always be in company, to have sangha. And, it's a process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process. Our humility through a practice of our sadhana, that is number one way we know if we are being sincere and if we are following, because any teacher would recommend that you do your inner work, and that is what sadhana is. So if you're doing sadhana, then you know you're sincere, or at least symptoms of seeking sincerity. And if you're doing sadhana every day, your heart is bound to open. When the heart opens, then there is submissive inquiry. And engaged in the mission, sincerity is gauged by how well you're maintaining your daily sacrifice of doing sadhana. How much are you investing in nurturing the seed of love in your heart? Are you making sure that the weeds are not growing too big? Are you making sure that you put a little fence around uh, the seed of love in your heart? These are very important questions we can ask ourselves.